The Dallas Cowboys offensive line is heading into this season with something to prove, and they're not shying away from it. Fresh off the offensive line Mastermind Summit, key members of the unit opened up about where they're headed, what needs to improve, and how leadership, including head coach Mike McCarthy, is setting the tone. Let's start with Tyler Smith, a foundational piece of the line. Smith didn't sugarcoat anything. His focus? Becoming elite in every aspect of his game. Run blocking, pass protection, football IQ. He's pushing to elevate it all. What stood out most was his emphasis on play diagnosis, understanding defenders' movements, recognizing tendencies, and reacting with speed and power. And there's a mindset shift happening too. Smith recalled something Zach Martin told him before his retirement. Always be an ascending player. That message stuck. It's not about where you are, it's about where you're going. Then we heard from first-round pick Tyler Booker, who's making the transition to right guard and embracing every challenge that comes with it. At the summit, Booker talked about how switching sides on the line forces him to think deeper, but it's also sharpening his technique and awareness. He's not just trying to keep up, he's aiming to dominate. He shared how, back at Alabama, he'd rotate between left and right guard. And while it was demanding, it prepared him for the kind of versatility the Cowboys now need. There's no question. Dallas is rebuilding its trenches with intent. Gone are the days of relying solely on name recognition. This version of the offensive line is all about growth, unity, and toughness. These linemen aren't just showing up. They're working to lead a resurgence. And it's clear they're buying into McCarthy's vision. It's moments like these that reveal the true value of off-season work. And the Cowboys may have found a gem. When Tyler Booker spoke at the Offensive Line Mastermind Summit, he gave fans a glimpse of just how ready he is to contribute. While many questioned whether his experience at left guard in Alabama would be a challenge in Dallas, Booker put that worry to rest. He's trained on both sides of the line, alternating every game during his freshman year. That level of preparation doesn't happen by accident. It's the product of a championship program, and it's about to pay dividends in Oxnard. And when asked how he feels about training camp, Booker didn't hesitate. I'm excited to put the pads on. I know I have things to learn, things to improve, and I can't wait to get better. That's the kind of hunger you want from a young lineman. A player who knows he's still growing, but attacks the process with confidence and grit. Because let's be honest, nothing we've seen so far this offseason has been real football. No pads, no trenches, no collisions. That changes the moment camp kicks off in California. When the helmets come on and the hitting starts, that's when the tone for the entire season is set. We'll finally find out who's truly ready to fight in the trenches. We'll see whose technique holds up when it's live. We'll discover whose mindset breaks, and whose foundation is built for the long haul. The physicality, the attitude, the tone. That's what training camp is all about. And to take it a step further, we heard from one of the most respected voices in offensive line development, Duke Manyweather. Duke isn't just a trainer. He's a technician, a mentor, a builder of linemen who know what it takes to succeed at the highest level. He's worked with Zach Martin, among others, and his connection to the Cowboys is no coincidence. Dallas linemen have sought him out for years. My job is simple, Manyweather said. I help every guy I work with become the best version of himself. I'm not here to change their identity. I'm here to make what they do more efficient and more effective. That mindset is crucial. Because in a league where techniques can vary from coach to coach, having a consistent voice outside the building, one that complements, not contradicts, can give a player an edge. Duke's work is built on collaboration, not ego. He talks with team staff. He learns what coaches want, and then he sharpens those players into warriors who return to their franchises better, sharper, and more prepared to lead. That's how the Cowboys' line gets stronger, not just from within, but from the community of excellence surrounding them. If there's one thing that defines a championship team, it's control of the trenches. And for the first time in years, the Dallas Cowboys may finally have the depth, coaching, and attitude to take it back. Offensive line specialist Duke Manyweather offered some powerful insight into this offseason's progress, and what he said should ignite excitement in every Cowboys fan watching. According to Manyweather, this is the deepest and most talented offensive line group Dallas has had in years. Not just because of names, but because of true quality depth. Let's break it down. Tyron Smith is gone. Tyler Biadasz is gone. Even Zach Martin has stepped away. But what the Cowboys have gained? It's promising. Tyler Guyton, the rookie with freakish upside. A more refined Tyler Smith, who's stepping into leadership. Cooper Beebe, versatile, powerful, and already turning heads. And then there's Tyler Booker, the newest addition, who brings the same raw, physical intensity as Smith. These three, Smith, Beebe, and Booker, could become one of the nastiest interior trios in the NFL. They're young, they're hungry, and they're ready to push the point of attack. But it's not just the rookies. Manyweather praised Terrence Steele, calling this offseason one of his best. 2 years removed from a brutal knee injury, Steele is showing signs of bouncing back to his old dominant self, particularly as a run blocker. What held him back last year? Not physicality, not talent, but coaching. For too long, the Cowboys' offensive linemen were forced into schemes and techniques that didn't match their natural skill sets. Players like Steele and Beebe were being taught things that went against their strengths, and the result was hesitation, missteps, and inconsistency. That wasn't on the players. That was on the staff. Now, with Clayton Adams and Mike Solari involved, there's a shift. These coaches aren't asking linemen to fit into their system. They're adapting the system to fit the players. Know who you are as a player, Duke said. Take what makes you special and sharpen that until it's unstoppable. That message is powerful, because it means Dallas is no longer pretending its linemen are interchangeable. This year, they're being coached to be themselves, to use what already makes them dangerous, not watered-down versions of someone else's system. And that brings us to the elephant in the room, Mike McCarthy. Let's be honest. Last season, McCarthy oversaw a team that underachieved, especially in the trenches. Under his leadership, linemen were being misused. Fundamentals were ignored, and development stalled. What happened to this unit wasn't just sloppy, it was a failure of evaluation and coaching. McCarthy, to his credit, is a Super Bowl winning coach. He has his strengths. But for the Cowboys, last season in particular, what he allowed on that field was unacceptable. Still, despite all of that, the Cowboys made the decision to bring him back. That may be the only real blemish on an otherwise strong offseason. Because everything else, the draft, the staff changes, the focus on fundamentals, points to a team that's finally learning from its mistakes. This offensive line isn't just being rebuilt, it's being redefined. So now, as we stare down training camp and the season ahead, the real question becomes, will this group finally reclaim its identity as the foundation of a championship contender? Time will tell, but if Duke Manyweather's words carry weight, and they do, Cowboys fans have a lot to be hopeful about in 2025.